Well, I did it. I have a number. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, the official number, give or take a few bucks, is Hey everyone. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share about a new project, and I want you to join in if you feel so inspired. The project is called Project Shelf Aware, and I will definitely give you the details in the meat of the video. So if you're new to my channel, then hi, I'm Shelly. I love books and reading, and I love buying books, and I love reading books. And I often try and come up with gentle projects that will help me foster a good relationship with my own books and my own objects without putting too much pressure on myself. And so this video is very much in line with the ethos of my channel, I would say. If you're enjoying this video and you would like to subscribe, I would encourage you to do so. If you're liking this video, please thumbs up the video. That would help a lot. And without any further rambling on, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. The heart of the project is to bring a conscientiousness to my shelves, that I want to be aware of what I own, what I want to read, what has fallen out of favor with me, how many books I'm reading every month, and how to perhaps focus a bit more on my shelves in a very gentle way. I'm not about being hard on myself. I'm not about strict rules. I don't like things to feel punishing, which is probably why I'm not doing the Read What You Own challenge. If you don't know what the Read What You Own challenge is, I will leave some information linked down below. And I don't want to stop buying books. But here's what I do want to do. Let's focus on that. I want to be aware of what I have on my shelves. Be aware of what I want to read and why I want to read it. Sometimes when a prize list comes out, when the end of the year lists start to come out, where there is this promise that a book is going to be amazing, that it's going to give the reader, me, a wonderful experience. And when that is often the feeling, the excitement, the promise of the great experience, the promise of a life-changing experience is what gets me to buy, and what gets me to turn away from my own collection and look towards the new. Even if the new is an old book, but like all of a sudden I want it because I heard someone excitedly talking about it. And I love that feeling. I love that feeling. I love doing book hauls on my channel. I love the luxury that I have, the privilege in my life to be able to buy books. And I love books. However, what I've noticed is that I sometimes am so focused on what's new. I'm so focused on the next book I want to buy. I start to become a little bit obsessed, a little bit too excited by the things that I could buy, rather than cheering myself up or being excited by the books that I actually own. And so this project, the heart of the project, is to shift my vision ever so slightly away from the new and back onto what I own. And so I already filmed this video, by the way. This is my second crack at it, because the first time I filmed the video, it was like Shelly, it was a little bit like sad Shelly vibes, and it was not the vibes that I wanted to put out in the world. So the part of the project is to actually count up how many unread books I have owned. And I have live footage of me reacting to how many books I own that are unread, physical books. So I went around my house and I looked at books that I bought myself with the intention to read. I have a couple of my vintage books that I have collected a small stack of, that I don't actually really intend on reading those exact copies. They're more of objects that I really love. There are a lot of gifts that I've been given of signed books that I really admire, that I appreciate owning, but they weren't necessarily books that I have fully intended on reading someday. There are some books that are my husband's. There are some books that are my children's. And so these are all the books I counted were the books that I consider are mine, that I chose myself to physically read. They're in a copy that is readable for me, and they are the books that are a manifestation of my desires. So those are the books that I counted, and I'll roll the live footage of me reacting to the number for you right now. Well, I did it. I have a number. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, the official number, give or take a few bucks, is 234. I have 234 books unread on my shelves physically. We're not even talking digitally. 234. Well, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but this was very illuminating. I'm in shock, y'all. Wow. Okay. So, wow. Wow. I'm just gonna process that information for now. So if you're following along and you really want to do this project as well, I would start with that step. Start to get real with yourself about you and your collection, like I did with my collection. Be brave. Count up the books that you own and haven't read. That's an important key to this project. The next is to see how many books over time, if you have a Goodreads or a Storygraph log, go back and see on average how many books do you read from your shelves. And I did this as well, so I'll roll the footage of that. And on average, I'm reading about 4 of my own physical books a month. I also did a tiny bit of math of the books that I am currently consuming from my physical collection. If I stayed at the same pace, how long would it take me to read all of the physical books that I own? Which means that it will take me around 5 years to read all of my physical books if I maintain this pace. There's some data for you. Well, part of this project is also getting rid of or donating or decluttering from my life books that no longer spark joy, if we're going to use the same principle as Marie Kondo. And so I show you a small stack of books that I feel unsure about, and so I'll roll that footage now. And I'll quickly show you the books that, I don't want to do like a read out or unhaul it challenge, but I will say that these are books that I'm not feeling very excited about reading, and maybe you all can tell me a little bit about them. So I'll run through those really quick. First up, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a signed copy of this book. I have a signed copy of this book, not because I bought it signed, but because it was gifted to me signed. And I started it, and I got about 60 pages in, and I DNF'd it. And I've always meant to go back to it. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it. I was just, at the time, I was a very distracted reader. And so I let my distractions get the best of me. So this haven't read and I have a bad relationship with. Another dysfunctional relationship. Oh, I don't know if I could show this on camera, but it is Lady Chatterley's Lover. I also have Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. I don't know it. Like BookTube has their darling authors, like there's BookTube darling, but they call them BookTube darlings. It means that the author is well loved on BookTube. And I feel like D.H. Lawrence is not one of them. And so over the years as I've owned this book, I've just watched more BookTube and I'm like, nobody mentions you, nobody talks about you, nobody seems to like you. Or at least love you. I mean, is there a D.H. Lawrence champion out there to get me excited about the D.H. Lawrence books, or should I just unhaul them? Next up, I have the same thing with Stendhal, The Red and the Black. The Red and the Black. I know that this is about this. I know that this is a classic, but is it good? Tell me in the comments below. And finally, this one I started, and my heart couldn't take it, but it's In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I cannot take this kind of fiction. like true crime. I mean, the first true crime fiction out there. Well, it's not fiction. It's not fiction. It's true crime. It's nonfiction. I cannot take it. Like, my heart cannot take it. So I read about, I don't know, 40 pages, and it was so disturbing that I was like, I'm never going to read this again. But then I keep it around, and it's like I have that push and pull of like, it's it's a classic of the genre, and so many people love it, and I'm like, yeah, should I read it? And it's like, maybe I just need to just, get myself together and just be like, Shelly, you're not going to read this. You don't want to. Get rid of it, girl. And finally, it's more about the author, but Kazu Ishiguro. I read that, the one, his famous book. This is Remains of the Day. The Remains of the Day. I read his other one, that was really famous. Shelly, come on. Oh, I don't know. But anyways, I've had this on my shelves for years, and I'm like, is Ishiguro for me? I don't know. Like, the other famous book that I'm going to be flashing on the screen to you, I liked, but I didn't love. I wasn't like, it was the most amazing thing ever. It just, it was okay. So, because of that lukewarm feeling for the author, I'm like, do I want to read this? I don't know. But these are the books that I'm like, maybe they're on the chopping block if I don't get a better relationship with them sooner rather than later. So I'm actually going to isolate that stack of books to a place where I am going to, over the next couple of months, work on my relationship with those books. And maybe that's looking up some articles on those classics and why they make them a classic. Maybe looking up some really positive reviews of the books, or just taking the time to read the first couple of pages from those books that might really alter the way that I'm feeling about that stack. So I have that, we're trying to be more aware of our shelves and being aware of my own internal life in terms of like how I'm feeling towards my shelves. And maybe there are times where I feel icky, not good, disastrous towards my shelves. And maybe that is what's turning me towards new books and books to buy. And what I have to remember is that, a lot of my books have the promise of giving me a good time. A lot of my books have this, or they were all bought with an excitement that I was going to either learn something or grow from or be entertained by their contents. And so I really want to have a more positive relationship and have a focus on reading my shelves in 2024. And I would say if you have any ideas for Project Shelf Aware, like how we can be more conscientious, more conscious of what we have on our shelves, please put your suggestions down below. I would really appreciate that. I would love to, about every month or so, check in on this project and really get excited about maybe upping the amount of books that I read per month from my shelves and being aware of that in general. That would be really, really wonderful. And ultimately, I am very curious as to where this project will take me. I am so excited about what I have on my shelves and like what I want to read, and I'm excited about how this will unfold, even though I may not have like the clearest idea right now. I know that giving myself some wiggle room and being aware enough to like check in, like to have accountability and check in about it every month or so with you all will really kind of give me the flexibility and the creativity and the accountability to like work on this project and shape it up. But as far as right now goes, I'm not exactly sure what that shape is going to take. I just know that I have some gentle guidelines in place to help me like really kind of take off in this arena. So if you want to join Project Shelf Aware, count up those shelves, see how many books you read from your shelves each month, and give me your ideas down below as to like what you would like to see from me. What are you gonna do? Maybe I'll do like a shop my shelves, maybe I'll do a like top 10 classics I want to read next, top 5 science fictions I want to read next, just to give me excitement about the books on my shelves. And I am really curious about looking at lists. I know coming up very soon is going to be a very long video of the best books in a certain century. and it's a century that I tend to buy from. Like, I have a lot of books from that particular century, and so the list is going to, I think, hopefully get me the most excited about what's on my shelves, because I feel like I've lost the plot, but like, because the list reflects my taste and like what I tend to buy in. And so there's that. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. For sure. Tell me if you're gonna join in. I would love to know if you're gonna join in. And just, bring an awareness, bring a conscientiousness to the books that we own, and then we can all like check in together. You can say, I read this many books, and this is what I read, and this was what was great about it, or oh my goodness, I have a book that's been lingering on my shelves for 10 years, and I bought it when I was a totally different person, and I've come to terms with myself that I do not want to read it, and so I'm going to get rid of it. And getting rid of it is the best thing for me, and I feel so free because I don't have that book staring at me anymore. But yeah, we can check in with each other. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.